I'm so excited to be here with my friend Jackie McDonald. Jackie,
Oh
welcome.
my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, this is so serendipitous because I met you a couple of months ago. We shared an Airbnb in Kelowna at the Pink Skirt Project. Now we're here in Arizona recording a podcast together. And I want to have Jackie on because, first, she is the EFT queen,
Thank you.
EFT tapping queen. And if you know anything about tapping, it's a great modality for healing, for overcoming trauma and releasing, I guess, the mindset blocks or the I guess subconscious blocks maybe is a better way to put it, that keep us from stepping into who we're fully meant to be.
Absolutely.
And the thing that's so incredible, I really want to have Jackie here because she helped me through a really difficult process and it was very unexpected. I went to her event that she was having the night after the Pink Skirt Project because I was staying in the Airbnb with her. It was really fun. And she was walking us through this little, I guess, a process. And all of a sudden I started breaking down. I couldn't talk. And she's like, okay, I feel so bad. I dominated the entire conversation and she really helped me through it. And I had never worked with someone in a tapping perspective. And I don't know if I even told you this, but I used to do a lot of tapping. I had a tapping coach for a while. I'd never had that profound of a breakthrough in that period of time. So first of all, I want to thank you for that because you are amazing. And second of all, I want to really dig deep today into the unique way that you teach people to tap or tap for people or tap with people. So let's start at the beginning. Like, how'd you get interested in tapping? And why don't you explain what it is for people who don't know?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for sharing your experience because I always say it's better experienced than explained with tapping. And even if you've tapped with other people before, like often people are like, what did you do? Something is different. And I really think of my style of tapping as activations because I have been doing it for 14 years. I often say tapping found me at my worst and brought me to my best. So I started when I had my daughter when I was 19 years old. And before she turned a year old, I found EFT. So EFT tapping stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. And it's often known as tapping because we're tapping on acupuncture points on the face and body. So where you would go for acupuncture and usually get a needle, you're just using your fingers to tap. And I think of it as like a blend of Eastern acupuncture and Western psychology because you're talking while you're tapping. And so when I found tapping, I had just had a baby and within 5 months of her being born, we had a lot of loss. So one of our best friends passed away like a few days before. Yeah, thank you. Before she was born, he was murdered. So it was really traumatic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then we had other people close to us pass away from tragic loss really quick. And so my body went into a fight, flight, freeze response. But I didn't know what that was at the time. I just was like, why can't I function like a normal person?
Right.
Went to the doctor, did all the things, and they're like, you're just a tired new mom. You'll get over it. But I didn't. And I was like, I just want to be able to spend time with my baby, like be a normal person and go for a walk. And that's when tapping found me. A woman came to stay with us. I was living with my mom at the time. And she came from Australia and she was like, I'm in North America to learn tapping. And my mom's like, what is that? And she said, Emotional Freedom Techniques. And my mom's like, I think that's what my daughter needs. Will you tap with her? So I'm like in my mom's basement with a 1-year-old or baby, like tapping and crying. And I realized a lot of the physical feelings I was having was because of emotional pain. And I learned like our body stores emotions and can block our healing. And after that first session, I remember I fell asleep. I slept for hours.
Wow.
And I felt like it rebooted my system. And then I got curious. I'm like, I'm going to explore this and went and got certified with a 1-year-old. Went through a 9-month tapping certification. And then my instructor, she was like, if anyone had the excuse not to do this, it was you. And you were born to do this. And I want to gift you 2 years of business mentoring.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I was like, okay. So I started, doing business mentoring with her and then started to slowly tap with other people. But it's such an unconventional thing, especially 14 years ago. It wasn't necessarily cool. So I was really nervous to like put myself out there and share it with others. But there was a significant day with my dad. So my dad had kidney failure. He was diabetic and went into kidney failure. And the year he died, he had 17 heart attacks that year. So it was a
Oh my
very
gosh.
intense time.
Wow.
And I was learning tapping during this season. And I thought one day he was in the hospital and he had shingles that day. It was just like he was in a bad shape. And I thought, what do I have to lose? Like, what if I try tapping on him? So I asked him, I said, Dad, can I try this tapping thing on you? Like, I just learned it. And he just was like, eyes closed, like nodded. He wasn't talking. He hadn't gotten up to eat. He wasn't even getting up to go to the bathroom. So it's called surrogate tapping. I took his hand and I tapped on his hand and I started saying, like, even though I'm in so much pain right now, I love and accept myself anyway. I just kept it very simple. And I just took a guess at how he might be feeling. So I did tapping on him. And after the first round, he opened his eyes, took a deep breath, and he just was like, keep going. So I was like, okay, like, is everything okay? Like, did I do something? He's like, just keep going. So I tapped 3 more times. And by the end of it, he's like, I don't know what you did to me, but I feel so much better. He got up and walked to the bathroom, which at that moment was like, wow. The nurse was like, what is going on? And so at that moment I knew, like, okay, this didn't just help me, this can help others.
I have the chills. That's an incredible story. Yeah. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm assuming you're done.
Yeah, he ended up passing in 2015, but yeah, it was a really special moment for me, and his loss activated my purpose, because it really, when you go through loss, you're like, what am I doing with my life, and what is my point in being here? And that's when I knew I had to go all in.
I don't know if you know this about me, but it's very similar situation, not with the tapping, but my mom passed away really early on in my life, and when I was 21 years old. And actually, we did talk about this in our tapping session. I forgot, because it was a huge block.
That's what was part of, your block.
Yeah.
Because when we know we want to go after something and make something happen, there's one part of us that knows we can do it. And we feel that pull. But then there's usually another part of us that is scared, that isn't ready. And that day with you, that's all that was happening. Like, you were feeling the call to this next level. You know it, you can see it, you can feel it. But there was just this part of you that wasn't ready. And it was that part of you connected to your mom that was missing your mom. Yeah. And we needed to connect with her. And when you got to do that, we watched in real time your whole body change. It was like somatic. You shifted.
Yeah, that was heavy, and that night was like a
we did a follow-up tapping.
We did a follow-up tapping after, and then Jackie came in and tapped for my community, and even last week they were talking about how amazing it's going to be, and I'm going to convince Jackie to come in and tap again for the Art of Reinvention students, because they really had an incredible breakthrough.
Wow, I'd love to. I mean, it's so cool tapping with a group too, because you understand that, like, whoa, we're really in this together. Like, the procrastination you're feeling, the perfectionism you're feeling, the fears of visibility you're feeling, like, we all have our own version of that. And when you meet that part of you that is holding you back, and help her integrate into the now, and really, I say your body has to be on board with who you're becoming. And your body is your subconscious mind. And so subconsciously, if there's a part of you holding back, when she gets on board with where you're going and what you want, and I call it your wildly wealthy woman, the woman you're becoming, it's like an internal power team that sets up, and boom, it's like things start manifesting, clicking into place.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about your methodology in a minute, but first, you were sharing a really cool story about how you kind of learned this energy of being called into manifestation from your dad. And since we talked about him, do you want to share a little bit more about, like, what you learned from him?
Yeah, I would love that. So I grew up in a family that were unconventional thinkers. Like, my dad, he never graduated high school. He became a carpenter. And then later in life, he decided he wanted to build backcountry heli ski, cat ski lodges. Well, his vision was like, I want to build a place in the mountains where people can bring their family to. And we live in British Columbia, Canada. There's a little town called Fernie, BC. And he had the opportunity to buy a piece of land from Shell Canada, which was unheard of, because this land was reserved for, like, their CEOs. But this is where, like, manifestation, God comes in. It's like, this was never able to happen, but somehow he got the opportunity to buy the land. But it was, he had to raise $1 million in a month. And I mean, he was successful in his, contracting companies, but $1 million in a month is
it's a lot.
In the 80s.
Yes.
It's like a lot.
That's like, what would that be compared to today, Jason?
Probably like 10 million. I don't know.
$10 million.
Yeah, like, it's a big risk. And the money that he raised, that you didn't get the money back. If you don't raise the money, then it's gone. It's kind of like a crowdfunding thing, I guess.
Nowadays. Kickstarter.
Kickstarter, yeah. So he went to all of our family members, grandma, friends, neighbors, and found a way to raise the money. But the last day, he was $250,000 short. And I talk a lot about, like, God, spirit, source, and building a business and going after your dreams. And this was one of those moments. in my family legacy that I realized, like, my core philosophy is you have to release in order to receive. Like, that's what I teach you with tapping. And this was my dad's release receive moment, yes. Right? He showed up, he put the work in, and then he came to this moment where it's like, I have followed up with every person, turned over every stone, and I don't know if I'm going to do it. And so my mom said to him, we have an hour left to come up with $250,000. We got to pray. And so he literally got on his knees and prayed. And we had a neighbor he lived in Germany. Well, he lived in Canada, but he would go to Germany for the summer. And he walked into the office that afternoon and he said, Dan McDonald, I hear you're trying to buy Island Lake Lodge in Fernie, like the land. And my dad's like, well, yeah, but I have an hour left and I need to come up with $250,000 and I don't know what else to do. And he said, well, I guess it's your lucky day. And he wrote my dad a $250,000 check.
Isn't that crazy?
It's insane.
That is crazy.
It's crazy. And so I've really been raised by unconventional thinkers and risk takers. And I think a lot of creatives, a lot of entrepreneurs, like, we might look like it's really glamorous a lot of the time on the outside, but it is not an easy journey. And it takes, a lot of courage.
It is not an easy journey.
It's not an easy journey.
It's worth it.
Yes.
And all the highs and lows get you to something where you have this opportunity to make a huge impact in people's lives. And I think I knew when I was little, and I feel like a lot of people like you and all of us who are on this unconventional path, we felt different. We didn't really feel like we fit in. We knew that we were here for something else. It didn't really make sense at the time. And here we are, walking this insane path of ups and downs and highs and lows to make a bit greater impact and purpose. And if any of that resonates with you, I know that part of that is we have to walk in the dark a lot and have faith that whatever it is that we're creating is actually going to work. So one of the things that you talk about, or that you're different in your tapping modality, is that you do parts work. And do you want to explain what that is first? And then I want to ask you a few questions about that.
Parts of self-work, people often think of like the show Inside Out, the kids show Inside Out, right? And you watch that movie, you can see there's like anger and there's joy and there's sadness. So we all have different parts of ourselves that show up, especially as we are expanding in visibility, scaling a company, doing something different than we've done before. And like I mentioned earlier, there's a part of you that knows you can do it. And then there's these parts of self that are scared. And it's one thing to be aware that they're there, but it's another thing to learn to tap with them.
Right.
So that's what you and I did. When you learn to tap with a part of self, it's like reparenting work on steroids. Yes. Because the thing tapping is known for in general is how fast it works and how effective it is. But when you take that a step further and use tapping on parts of self, or if your listeners have read Gabby Bernstein's new book, Self-Help, she talks about internal family systems. It's all very similar, but I have developed a form of tapping that is tapping on parts of self. And I have seen people transform so fast with it, because it's more than just going and looking at your past self or your inner child, or there's some I call like your warrior part of self often shows up if you are a mom and they're really tired, the part that can push through. Those parts need rest. They need to be seen. They need to be heard. They need to be integrated. And with tapping, we can do it in under an hour. And you don't have to go to months of therapy. You can literally do it in minutes. So that's what I think one of the big differences in my style of EFT that you don't get in others.
So I think it would be kind of fun to do a little tapping now.
Yeah, I would love to. Absolutely.
So we talked before the show, maybe tapping on reinvention, or maybe it's visibility in stepping into your reinvention season, so that you have the courage to actually evolve and become the person you're becoming.
I would love that. So one of the things that when I train people, because I have a certification program, is always to start with the end in mind. In my style of tapping, think about who you want to become. And so I often get you to fill in the blank, like the woman I am becoming is, or the person I'm becoming is ... So I like to say the woman I'm becoming is a wildly wealthy woman. Let's start there. Let's start there. Okay.
Perfect. Because I think everyone wants to be wildly wealthy.
Yeah. And you can have your own version of that, right? Whatever that means to you. And then we look at what is stopping me right now from becoming that. So for everyone listening, I would encourage you to just think right now, okay, the woman I'm becoming is fill in the blank, unstoppable, wildly wealthy, the healthiest version of herself, in love, whatever it is that you want to manifest. And then if I'm being really honest, like, what do I think is holding me back from that right now? Mm-hmm. And so if you're not driving and you're in a safe place to do so, you can close your eyes and really tune into your body. You can take a deep breath. And just ask yourself that question, what is stopping me from becoming that wildly wealthy woman? Notice what comes to mind. Maybe it's a story that you have. Maybe it's a belief that you have. Maybe it's a relationship that you're in. Maybe it's a pattern that you haven't been able to break. And I want you to just notice, where do you hold on to that pattern, that belief, that story, that feeling in your body? You can take a guess if you're like, oh, I don't know. Just take a guess. Where is this in my body? And how high is it on a scale of 0 to 10? So I know I could become a wildly wealthy woman, but I have this something holding me back. I can feel it in my chest. And how high is that feeling on a scale of 0 to 10? 0 meaning not high at all, 10 meaning it's really high. So noticing what your number is, take a guess if you don't know, just guess what it might be. And then we're going to tap together. So tapping is like a game of Simon Says. So I'm going to tap and say something, and then Tracy, you're going to tap and repeat after me. And everyone listening, you're going to do the same. Okay, so let's dive in. Let's say, even though I have this vision.
Even though I have this vision.
To become a wildly wealthy woman.
To become a wildly wealthy woman.
And there's a part of me that knows I can do it.
And there's a part of me that knows I can do it.
And there's another part of me that's scared.
And there's another part of me that's scared.
And I can feel this resistance in my body.
And I can feel this resistance in my body.
This resistance to letting go and rising.
This resistance to letting go and rising.
I love and accept myself anyway.
I love and accept myself anyway.
And I'm open to letting it go today.
And I'm open to letting it go today.
Even though I know I can do this.
Even though I know that I can do this.
There's this part of me that's scared.
There's this part of me that's scared.
I can feel it in my body.
I can feel it in my body.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
And I love and accept myself anyway.
And when I'm ready.
And when I'm ready.
I will let it go.
I will let it go.
Even though there's this big grand vision for my life.
Even though there's this big grand vision for my life.
That I know is possible for me.
That I know is possible for me.
There's been a part of me that's held me back.
There's been a part of me that's held me back.
Because she's scared.
Because she's scared.
She's scared I might fail.
She's scared I might fail.
She's scared I'm not good enough.
She's scared I'm not good enough.
I love and accept this part of me anyway.
I love and accept this part of me anyway.
And when I'm ready.
And when I'm ready.
I will release her.
I will release her.
Good job. We're going to tap on the top of the head and say, I know a bigger vision is possible for me.
I know a bigger vision is possible for me.
Eyebrow point. I know I was born to be a wildly wealthy woman.
I know I was born to be a wildly wealthy woman.
Tapping on the side of the eye. But something's been holding me back.
But something's been holding me back.
Tapping underneath the eye. I can feel it in my body.
I can feel it in my body.
Tapping underneath the nose. This resistance to moving forward.
This resistance to moving forward.
Underneath the mouth. There's a fear here.
There's a fear here.
Collarbone point. There's a belief here.
There's a belief here.
Tapping underneath the arms. But I'm open to releasing it today.
But I'm open to releasing it today.
Underneath the chest. I'm open to releasing it now.
I'm open to releasing it now.
Wrist point. I give myself permission.
I give myself permission.
To let this go.
To let this go.
Good. So you can stop tapping. Take a deep breath. If you want to close your eyes, if you're in a safe place to do so, tune back into your body. And just notice now what has changed. Notice if that number has went up or went down. Notice if it's moved anywhere. Maybe it's changed positions in your body, or it's coming up and out. And know that there's no right or wrong answer here. Tapping is like an inquisitive journey that shows you yourself. So Tracy, I'll bring it back to you. I don't know if anything came up for you in that round.
Yeah, well, the thing that came up for me was judgment.
Okay, judgment about like people judging you?
Yes, about, wanting to step into something new, or, this is kind of the thing, like, who does she think she is to, like, want to do that, which I think is a normal.
Totally normal. Everyone has some sort of version of that.
Some sort of version of that. Like, who do you think you are to think that you are credible for that? And it's not logical.
No.
It's like.
Yeah. It's subconscious. It's just in there. We could do one more round and clear that if you want. Yeah. So let's tap on the side of the hand and say, even though I'm afraid people will judge me.
Even though I'm afraid people will judge me.
I love and accept myself anyway.
I love and accept myself anyway.
Even though this fear of being judged.
Even though this fear of being judged.
Is holding me back.
I
love and accept myself anyway.
I love and accept myself anyway.
And I think I'm ready to let it go. Even though people might judge me. They might say things like, who does she think she is? Yeah. I love and accept myself anyway.
And I'm still going to do it.
Top of the head. People might judge me.
People might judge me.
Eyebrow point. They might say things like, who does she think she is?
They might say things like, who does she think she is?
Side of the eye. What if I'm not good enough?
What if I'm not good enough?
Underneath the eye. What if I fail?
What if I fail?
Underneath the nose. This is a fear that I have.
This is a fear that I have.
Underneath the mouth. It's been living in my body.
It's been living in my body.
Collarbone point. This fear of failing in front of people.
This fear of failing in front of people.
Underneath the arms. What if I'm not good enough?
What if I'm not good enough?
Underneath the chest. What if they're right?
What if they're right?
Wrist point. What if I fail in front of them?
What if I fail in front of them?
Tapping.
Oh, the worst.
Yeah, tapping on the top of the head. That might happen.
That might happen.
Eyebrow point. There's a part of me that's convinced that's going to happen.
There's a part of me that's convinced that's going to happen.
Side of the eye. I'm going to fail in front of them.
I'm going to fail in front of them.
Underneath the eye. But there's another part of me.
But there's another part of me.
Underneath the nose. That knows I've got this.
That knows I've got this.
Underneath the mouth. That knows I can do this.
That knows I can do this.
Collarbone point. That knows it's my time.
That knows it's my time.
Underneath the arms. It's my time to do this.
It's my time to do this.
Underneath the chest. The world needs me to do this.
The world needs me to do this.
Wrist point. So I'm going to give myself permission.
So I'm going to give myself permission.
Top of the head. To honor the fear.
To honor the fear.
Eyebrow point. To honor the parts of me that are coming up.
To honor the parts of me that are coming up.
Side of the eye. And go for it anyway.
And go for it anyway.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Yeah. I mean, you know the drill with us. Like, this is just dusting the surface. We could totally go in right now, but for the sake of time, I just wanted to give you guys a quick experience of really the depth that we can go to with tapping and how fast we can go. Because there's maybe a part of you from the past that this has happened, or something that's connected, that's old self is coming up, and this happens right before you're really about to expand.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because we did the Wildly Wealthy Women Night. I was one of the only people who was having this like complete meltdown.
No, other people had it too. They just, they
were keeping it together because they were embarrassed.
Tapping cracks you open in the best way. So don't worry.
Like tears everywhere. Jackie did a session with me for an hour and a half.
Yep.
And game changing. And then she came and talked to my community. So the thing that was really powerful, I think, in all three of those circumstances was how quickly it got to the root of what was wrong. Like, why is that?
Well, I think...
Or what was standing in the way, maybe is a better way to put it.
Yeah, because tapping is combining the brain and the body. Mm-hmm. It's like, if we're just to talk about it, we can talk in circles. Mm-hmm. But the body, I always say the body has to be on board with who you're becoming. The body will show you the key to your next level because your resistance is your roadmap. So that anxiety in your chest, that feeling of like, I don't know if I can do this. If we can go into that with tapping, within minutes, that anxiety releases, your shoulders relax, and that part of self is revealed. We give that part of self what she needs, whatever it is that she didn't get, and then all of a sudden she's like, green light, like, okay, you can do it now. And so I really do think it's the blend of the mind and body practice together, and the talking, because it's not like meditation where you're just silent. Mm-hmm. It's like you can talk through it at the same time, and that's what I've seen from my people. They're usually verbal processors and highly sensitive. Yes. So the combo of those two with tapping is like a superpower.
I don't know if I'm highly sensitive, but I'm definitely a verbal processor. Jason's like, are you talking to me? I'm like, no, I'm just having a conversation with myself. I
just need to get it out.
Hashing it out with my team member right now.
Yes.
She's not there.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Oh, it's awesome.
So there's been this huge, I don't want to call it a trend because I don't think it's a trend, but about somatic work and healing when it comes to that, and having like everything integrated. Now, for people who are not super connected to their body, because I know this is a real thing. Yeah. I happen to be connected with my body, but also I dissociate a lot. Like Jason's like, where'd you go? Are you there? And dissociation was my coping mechanism, I think, as a kid. And I didn't even realize it. I feel like I daydreamed a lot in class. In other places, I was like somewhere else half my life. It's probably why I don't remember a lot of my childhood. So for people who have difficulty connecting to their body and they're like, oh, and they're just so in their head, how do you get them back in?
I was one of those people.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember when I first learned tapping, they're like, where's your body? And I was like, what is that? What does that even mean? What kind of question is that? And so that's why I say take a guess. But even just tapping on the points, like, you don't even have to say anything. You don't have to believe in it to work. Just tapping on the points is going to bring blood flow to the brain, the amygdala, right? The part that controls the fight, flight, freeze response. So you don't even have to say anything. You can just tap on these points. And if you notice when people are in trauma, they will naturally like put their hand on their head. Like, you'll naturally see people put their hands on these points, and it's for a reason. We're bringing blood flow to these core areas. And so I think your question was like, how can we help them?
Yeah, to get back into their body so they can
Just
feel
tap.
it.
Just tap on the points. I also teach finger tapping. So you tap right on the side of the nail bed. You just go through one finger at a time. And this is great if you're in a public place and you don't like necessarily want to tap on your face and talk about your feelings in front of everyone. You can just tap on these finger points, and you can even do one hand. So you can, like, sometimes if it's like under a table, I might just do this. Or even if you're driving, you can just like tap on one point.
Okay.
And you'll notice people take a deep breath. You might notice yourself get tired. That's really common. I'm always like, yawning is never rude with tapping. It's a good sign. It's a sign.
What does that mean?
Your body's relaxing.
Okay.
Your body's safe. It's like, I'm tired. I can rest now. It's going into rest repose. So just tapping on the points alone will bring you back into your body. And you don't have to say anything. You don't even have to know how it works. Just start tapping on the points.
So what are some of the biggest breakthroughs you've seen people have with tapping?
Oh my gosh. I have seen people manifest amazing things. I've seen people, I don't know if I want to share this. Well, I guess I will. I had a client who had cancer. I had actually a couple of clients that had cancer and debilitating. And I had her husband message me one day and said, I feel like you gave me my wife back, because she went from, not able to get off the couch to like walking on her treadmill every day, and like it really transformed her healing journey. Not to say that tapping heals cancer. I just want to be cautious of that. It can really support your healing journey, but that is one of my favorite stories. And I've seen people, I started running a 21-day tapping challenge called 21 Days of Tapping and Affirmations for $21. I did it for fun, like in 2018. And I had 183 people join the first day. I was not expecting that.
Oh, wow.
Because I created it for myself. I was like, I really need to commit to my tapping practice. I'm going to put that out there. And all these people joined, and I started to see story after story come in. I said, set your intention at the beginning of this journey, what you want to manifest. And some people were like, I want to get my dream home. I want to manifest love. I want to manifest my dream job. Every single one got the thing. Like one woman, she's like, I started the 21 days, 3 days in, I went to a coffee shop, saw a person I used to know, and today they're married with a baby. And she's like, it was the tapping that activated, like it released whatever was keeping her stuck. That's why I teach release to receive, and it just put her into alignment. So
I know I bought one of your tapping challenges.
Yes,
I didn't finish it. I went to two things, but
that's okay.
I think I jumped in the middle.
Yeah.
Do you have them ready to just like join at any time?
Yeah, you can totally join the 21 days at any time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's always a different challenge.
There's always a different theme, but like so I just ran the past one a few months ago, so you'll get access to the most recent one that I ran. And it's 21 days for $21. There's a different affirmation a day. This past one was very like spiritual based. So it was like 21 days of tapping, prayer, and affirmation. Yes. So it's actually more like a lot of affirmative kind of incantation, manifestation sort of vibe. But I have different themes. I've done it for years. So there's all different kinds, but just send me a DM on Instagram and I can set you up with the right one. But that's a really great place to start, because I often say it's better experienced than explained. And like that 21 days will transform you.
You have some things coming up in the pipeline. Do you want to talk about them?
I would love that. So I'm running a 4-day free training called Learn to Tap. And it's actually the best place to start because it's free. And if you're interested in the science of tapping, how tapping works, why it works, day 1 is going to be all about that. And then day 2 is tapping in the body. So tapping is famous for physical pain, helping people with physical pain.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So people with all sorts of things, migraine, back pain, you name it, tapping can help with physical pain. And so day 2 is about tapping in the body, how to use this tool to heal your body. And then
I know some people who could use that.
Do you? We'll send them over. Yeah. We'll tap, and we'll be tapping every day. So you'll get an experience of like, oh, this is what it looks like to tap in the body. It might sound a bit different from what we did today. And then day 3 is tapping as a manifestation tool. So how to manifest quicker with EFT.
Love.
Which is really like the wildly wealthy woman method that I've created. And then day 4 is the business of tapping. So how to grow your own healing movement using EFT. And yeah, I would highly recommend you come. It's free and it's a great place to start.
Amazing. So if you were to leave, and by the way, we'll have all the links and everything in the show notes. And you also have something coming up called Tapping School.
Yes.
For people who want to incorporate tapping in part of their coaching or modalities or have it in their toolkit. Do you want to talk about that as well?
Yeah. And tapping school is even great if you want to go through your own healing journey. So one of the things we have in tapping school is a tapping buddy program.
Ooh,
it's
I love
very
this.
cool. It's really built like a global community because it's one thing to learn the school. It's another thing to apply it. And I mean, especially with AI, it's like, oh, I could AI how to tap, but you're not going to actually learn how to tap unless you have a great mentor and a great community to practice with. So in tapping school, you go through 5 months of tapping every week. And so like any problem you think you might have, we are clearing it. So the transformation personally, first and foremost for tapping school is great. And then if you are like, I think I might want to help other people with this, or I have an existing business, whether it's a coaching business, I've also had like makeup artists and hairstylists, like all different people that work with others get certified and they use it. And tapping opens the doors for things like retreats and podcasts and speaking gigs because it gives the community an experience. So it's great if you want to get on stage or, you know, be invited to retreats and stuff like that.
So if you wanted to leave our community with one final word to help them in their healing process and stepping into becoming a wildly wealthy woman, what would that be?
Well, I would say start tapping. Honestly, it's free. It's at your fingertips. And don't be afraid of your unconventional idea. It is the thing that will change the world. And as someone that, you know, started out teaching people to tap on their face and talk about their feelings, I know what it's like to be freaked out or worried about people not getting it, people talking about you. But that calling on your life is for a reason. And just for every person that won't understand it, there's 10 that will absolutely love it. And so don't be afraid to get out there and start sharing it.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yay.
Love you.
Love you too.